Hello, YouTube pipers. Double O Pipe here. I thought I would try this pouch of half and half. I put some of these in the bottom of my bowl here in my Savinelli Bing's favorite. And I'm just gonna dip this in here like I saw Father Knows Best do way back in the day, and stuff some tobacco in there. I think that should do it. Fold it back up. Half and half. Oy. Excuse me. Another Codger's blend. I have my beverage in a new glass. I think it holds a little more. It's in the back of the cupboard. I don't have tongue bite quite as much. And it was suggested to me for tongue bite to try these. It's made in Germany. I got it at Amazon. They had it. It says Dinacool crystals absorb excess condensation while you smoke. The result, a mild, cool, and dry smoke. They always give an easy draw and are simple and easy to use in any pipe. They save money. No more wasted tobacco at the bottom of the bowl. Pour some of these crystals into the pipe bowl. Fill in the normal way with your favorite tobacco. After smoking, just empty the whole contents of the pipe. Contents, no T on the end of contents. You just slide this back like that, and there's a little opening right here. And you spill out what looks like crystals. I don't know where the daggum camera on this thing is now. But if you can see those against my white palm, you can see that they look like rock salt, but they're not. I mean, I haven't put it in my mouth to taste it, but like I say, I haven't had the problem with tongue bite like I had been having. I always drink this warm. I don't like cold beer. That's probably a taste I picked up from over there. I'm going to take you back to my freshman year in college. That was kind of a frightening year in the beginning. To tell us apart from the rest of the college, we were issued little beanies put on top of our head. It was like an abbreviated baseball cap with a tiny bill on it. The colors of the college were maroon and white, so we had a maroon section, a white section, a maroon section, a white section with a little bitty button on top. That was maroon. And we had to wear that every day. At least the first half of the first semester we had to wear it. It's divided into 2 semesters, but in order for everybody in the upper classes to see who the lower classmen were, we had to wear that. We never thought to do what the freshmen 4 years later started doing. They just refused. They didn't wear them. It never occurred to us. This was a college that was just drenched in tradition, Southern tradition. College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. Supposedly a very, very hard college to get into. It was the only college that I put in a request for admission. And my high school counselor said, "Boy, you've only sent in one admission sheet?" And I said, "Yeah, that's the only place I want to go." He said, "You might not get accepted, you know." I said, "Well, I don't have a fear of not being accepted." And he said, "Well, my advice to you is at least put in admission requests to 2 other colleges." So I proceeded to fill out 2 more requests to 2 more colleges, both all-girl schools, which I figured, heck, if they say okay, I'm in gold. But I don't know, I just knew inside I'd be going to the College of Charleston. And I got my acceptance. I don't remember if my guidance counselor was surprised or not. But it had never occurred to me to go anywhere else. Anyway, I hated that beanie, just like every other freshman did. But it messed up my hair. You know, I had, for 4 years of high school, I'd been training my hair, that butch hair wax you put in it so that nothing is out of place. Just slicking it back on the sides into that little tiny ducktail in the back and that little twist on the front that drops over your forehead. I had it down perfect. And I'd start wearing that beanie. And I couldn't keep it combed. So I said to hell with it. And the Beatles were becoming popular, so I just let it go like the Beatles. And it just flopped all over my head. So much for 4 years of training your hair. But I remember that first Every Wednesday, freshman class had to go to chapel. I remember that first Wednesday when we went. I met up with a new friend I'd made, and we walked in almost military style into the chapel. We had to go around the cistern to get to the stairs because the stairs were kind of half circles up to a porch that had columns, and inside you would go through the door into the chapel. Dark stained floors with a podium up front on a tiny stage. We'd all come in and sit down on folding chairs. And when whoever the important official was, the dean, I guess. I don't even remember who the dean was now. But anyway, the dean came in through the side door and stood at the podium and said, "Everybody stand up." And we all stood up. He said, "Face south." And by south, I mean look toward the door you just came in through. Pardon me. Which we did. And he said, "Now, everybody bow your heads and repeat after me." And it was the Lord's Prayer. We had to pray the Lord's Prayer facing south. Southern school, Southern traditions. Southern traditions that we upheld, being from our generation. Most of the people who had been admitted by the college were from Charleston or nearby Charleston. Very rarely did we get anybody from out of state. And the total school body was about 350 students. You knew almost every single person on campus. Well, guys stood up there yakking and blabbing on. We were falling asleep because it was just stuff we didn't care about, but it was mandatory meetings every Wednesday. I think y'all are aware of what mandatory meetings are like. Finally, he was finished and he said, "You're dismissed." Just about in time for the first class. For me, it was calculus. Never had problems with a math class in all my school days. We got to class and went inside, and the professor came in. He looked exactly like Woody Allen. I thought, man, this might be good if he's got a sense of humor. No sense of humor at all. Dry as a stick. Monotone, talking about what he was writing on the board. And I was practically falling asleep. Just the tone of his voice was putting me to sleep. And my buddy kept punching me to wake me up. And I figured, I don't have to worry about this class. I've never had a problem with math before. Finally, the hour was up. We got out of class and he said, "You want to let's go over to the student union and get some breakfast?" I said, "That sounds like a good idea. I need to wake up after that." So we went over to the student union, slipped into one of those booths, had a couple of other buddies along with us. We all gave our order, and one of us, I don't remember which one, went up to the counter and ordered what we wanted and waited for it. And while we were sitting there waiting on our breakfast, in came a parade of beautiful young women. Oh man, short skirts, all colors of the rainbow, and matching blouses, hair done to the T's, skin just as lovely as alabaster. And we just watched them coming in. Oh man, all of them with beanies because they were all freshmen too. And the guy said, "You going to that dance this weekend?" I said, "I don't really dance that much." He said, "You need to go." And I said, "I don't know anybody here to ask." And he just went, look at the student union. You've got multitudes to pick from, and they're all gorgeous." And he said, "You better enjoy them being gorgeous right now." Because one of the upperclassmen told me that the first week they might look like this, just dreams, enchanting dreams of loveliness. But after 2 weeks, you'll be lucky if they have even had time to do their hair. He said, because studying here takes up all your time. You don't have time for makeup or anything. He was right. He was absolutely right. I said, "I don't know. I don't know how to talk to it." And boom, in walked another group of girls. They always came in groups, 4, maybe 5. But she was an upperclassman. I could tell that because she was not wearing a beanie. That alabaster skin I was talking about, flawless, dark chestnut hair flowing around her neck, gorgeous brown eyes, and cherry red lips. Oh, she was a dream. And it registered in the back of my head, that's the girl I met in church 4 or 5 years ago. And I just constantly stared at her. And the guy said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Can you see her? The girl over there, the brunette. She is beautiful. I'm in love." He said, "Fat chance you got with her. She's not a freshman." I said, "I realize that, but there's nobody in this world for me but her. She is just absolutely the most beautiful girl I've ever known." So anyway, that particular day, I didn't go over and talk to her because when it comes to women, I'm lame. I don't know how to talk to women and never have known. But he just laughed at me, and I just sort of sat there and just stared at her. I don't know, she must have gotten very uncomfortable. I don't know that she recognized me. Her memory wasn't quite as long as mine. She was a Phi Mu in the sorority Phi Mu. And I finally did go up and talk to her after a few days. And we did begin to date. But as with so many other things in my life, I just made stupid mistakes in my freshman year. I nearly flunked out my freshman year. The calculus class, I didn't know what I was talking about when I said math is always simple for me. I flunked that flat. It just did not make one iota of sense to me. In my second year, after I broke up with this particular girl, I was a complete mental mess. We didn't talk that second year, and I flunked practically everything. But I held on by the skin of my teeth. All I could see was rice paddies in my future. But I managed to hang on by the skin of my teeth, as I said, and did make it to my third year, which my grades went up, up, because I guess I had become settled in my mind and in my heart. In that third year, that girl was gone, so that I didn't have to pine for her for every time I saw her. And another girl came into my life. And we were together for those last 2 years of college. She was something too. But after college, I went to the Air Force, and things just took a completely 180 turn. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I think I learned from them, but I may have learned from them too late. Who knows? Anyway, that was pretty much my freshman year, or first few days. I enjoyed my time at the College of Charleston, but I never made friends like I had with my high school friends. But I grew up with those people in high school. We went to grammar school and high school together, so it was a big difference. But I got my degree. I got a BS in English with a minor in chemistry. I guess the chemistry helped because after the Air Force, I went into pharmacy school, and I'm sure that helped. But anyway, so much for early days, excuse me, in college, freshman year. Tradition. And like I say, that fourth year I was in college, the new freshmen came in from all over the country. And they didn't like tradition like we did. Tradition didn't matter to them. They took those beanies off and they just flung them and never wore them again. We'd have never done that because tradition to us meant something. But obviously, these folks from other parts of the country didn't feel the same. And the college didn't do anything. It just eliminated the beanie after that year. I always wanted to put a little propeller on mine because that's what it always reminded me of. And I thought I would have saved that thing, but I must not have. I must not have. Okay, I've talked enough. I'm almost a severed head here. I think I might have put this thing up a little too high. I don't know. I appreciate all of you who've come by to have a pipe with me or smoke a pipe with me. and maybe have a beverage and just listen to me ramble on. It's always good to share some time, and I appreciate it. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Hope everyone's doing fine. I'd like to say, God bless you all. Until the next time, bye-bye.